coming. Over there. Your shit.
Wait, pull it away.
No, that's Arnold.
Yeah, right here. Oh, you're right here, Arnold.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right here.
Yeah, and then you gotta pull it in a little closer so you can see us all on the screen. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, you're talking about, oh, you mean like that.
Can they see us all?
Yes, they can see everybody. Wait.
Move it a little bit.
Oh, you can see everybody.
Hold on. Yeah, but you got more than.
Well, I'm in the middle, so.
Okay, there you go. Now Arnold is out. So Arnold, you gotta come over a little more. To my right or towards DeAndre. Okay. Just let him come over a little more. No, I'm half pretty much stretch. Just come over. That's the only thing you won't get. No, I'm gonna go over. No, you're going the wrong way.
Nah, not that camera. He got to bring you into it. He's not in the StreamYard.
What you forget?
Trying to look over there.
Huh?
Trying to get you.
Oh, man.
Him in on the StreamYard.
Okay, hold on.
Nah. He got to bring you in.
Hey!
There you go. He's in.
Right. Now we just got to bring
you can drive your car. You can drive.
There we go. There you go. Right in there. All right.
Ready to go live?
Yeah, you can go live.
All right. We are live.
Okay.
All right, last check. Y'all can hear us, right? We good?
Absolutely.
We can hear you.
Yeah,
right,
we good. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna drop off for a minute.
No problem, y'all.
Drop back in when you can, man.
Drop on. Oh, missed it.
All right, y'all. Second show in the new setup. We still just trying to get everything right today. We had Arnold in the building. So, we had to get him together as well. So hopefully we get this thing, together a lot earlier so we can
tighten it up. I'm sure the speakers are
big.
The mics and the speakers are totally different things. They're all over in the space and spirit. But I guess y'all hear it. That's all that matters. Usually it's a little bit we hear ourselves bounce back.
Is this on?
Yeah, those are off. But I don't know. Check it out.
This up?
The board.
Yo.
Testing 1, 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you gotta turn this. There you go. Sound ain't up. That's all.
It wasn't up.
Yo. There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
1, 2, 1, 2. It's better. So y'all, guess what? We are live. And we got Arnold here today. Arnold. I'm trying to tell Arnold to come in.
AB. We got AB back in the building.
And I made it official. I submitted my letter of absence from last couple of weeks.
Really?
But to get a whooping, huh? Yeah. I didn't want to get expelled from school.
Yes, sir. What's been going on, though? What's new? I tried to get G2 on the show again. I ran into him yesterday at the 5K, y'all. Did y'all get a chance to stop through 5K? Yeah, it was all right. It looked a little smaller than it had in years past.
Really?
Yeah, it did. It really looked a little smaller than it had in years past. I don't know why, but it just that's what it seemed to me. But I could also be wrong. They're the ones that ultimately know what the numbers look like in terms of registration.
Right.
I know the mayor was out there. He ran, or at least maybe started off.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he finished the whole thing, but he had his little.
Did he go through Oak Park this year?
Through Oak Park?
Yeah.
No, they never go through Oak Park.
I see some signs saying. I see some signs saying something.
There are some signs. What was I traveling?
5K in Oak Park.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was traveling, maybe Chicago Avenue, I think, and I saw something like that as well. No, that's definitely not the Ultimate 5K. This one they start on Mayfield in Chicago, and then they cut south, and then you cut around, going east. I forgot at which street. Then you come back north to Chicago Avenue. Then you go straight down to Cicero and back around. So that was all. That's been the path for the last. They say this is the 9th one. Last 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
So not how many people would you say kind of showed up? Or?
I mean, it was a good number. It was about probably good 200 people probably. It was a good number. Maybe less than that, but I'm just talking about in terms of people participating. It didn't seem as though there were many folks that were participating.
Right.
I tried to go out there with my little one. She just wasn't having it. I brought the what's that? The cart, what's the wagon? I brought the wagon. Caught myself trying to sit her in it, and she wasn't having it. So I didn't get a chance to be involved, and I wanted to though. I definitely wanted to.
Right.
Maybe next year. We'll see. Keep doing CrossFit because they have us doing. We do 2, 400, 800, and 1 mile runs in CrossFit. You know, so I'm really building up my endurance as it relates to running.
Facebook can't hear.
They say can't hear on Facebook. Okay, well then unmute on StreamYard. Maybe that's what it is. Let me see. I gotta figure out what the bounce back gonna be coming from. So you unmuted?
This is not unmuted.
Yo. Yo.
Yes, it's okay.
Nah, it's something else. Something else on.
I received a lot of Facebook posts.
You say you really see a lot of Facebook posts as it relates to?
Pictures of 5K. I'm friends with Mary. She sent.
Mary Gardner? Yeah. Yeah, she was out there and ran. She finished it. Yo.
They wrapped the shine running.
He was, more than likely. He runs every year, so I think I seen him out the league. Yo. Yeah, how I did. Yo. No, it's not that. It was something I had business before. I forgot exactly what it was because I had changed. There's something in here.
I had just left from down there in Garfield Park, Golden Dome, but they had to recover in the event.
I want to check and see if they can hear you.
Can you hear? Let's say still. Let me see.
Facebook, can you hear? Check this out. Should be straight. Yeah, no, we good though. All right, so it was outboard.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah. On the left hand side right here, Arnold. Come on, bring it around. There you go. All right.
Right here.
Yep.
All right, y'all. One more time. In like flint. In like flint. So you were saying you were talking about the 5K. So let's talk about the 5K. What happened at the 5K?
I mean, like I said, I was on the sideline, so I couldn't even tell you.
You're right.
Yeah, I was on the side with my little one the whole time. She done went and took some. They bringing a bank on PNC. They bring in PNC Bank, 5700 block of Chicago Avenue.
Really?
Yeah, they bring in a branch. And I know this because my baby kept messing with the old man that was over there, and he had this real sour disposition. I wanted to talk to him like, man, how long, dog? Let's see my daughter, you know what I mean, is on the spectrum, you know, but I was like, man, look, that's it, because she was doing what she does, which is, you know, like she was like running towards him and kind of like trying to hide him, like, because she didn't want to be involved. Like when she's around a crowd of people, she gets real anxious, and I just didn't like the way that he was. It was really off-putting, but you know, he was telling me that his sister was neurodivergent as well, and so he was accustomed to it. But you could just tell his energy was just bad. But regardless,
So 5700. So
Yeah.
where are they building it from the ground up?
I don't think they built it from a ground up.
5700's got to be Massasoit or Menard.
Waller.
Waller?
Right? 5700 block would be Waller.
Yeah, that's Waller. On the south side of the street, across from Barney? That'd be in that old church. Next used to be the restaurant. Or in that little plaza.
Yeah. Right, it could be in there. I wouldn't be if at 40 at the 40 acres. I mean, a lot of a lot of them are doing that.
Now that makes sense.
You know, so maybe it could be there.
Right.
Well, I could have even been wrong when he might say 58, but it definitely was for sure. It was either 57 or 5800.
Wow, there's been a bank on Chicago Avenue in 70 years? 60 years? John Young bought that property on down there. Yeah, that bank hasn't been open. That bank wasn't even a bank in the 70s.
I'd be curious as to what all of this means, though. So we have the Laramie State Bank that's being refurbished. I don't know if they're going to put a bank there, but there's going to be some financial vehicle in there for us. You know, whether it's just like a place where you can learn financial literacy. Something's going to be there as it relates to finance.
Right.
Then apparently, obviously, you have this one coming, PNC Bank branch, and then you also have the Leaders Network credit union now. So, but what does it all mean, though? You know?
Well, it means that usually banks, they go where they're, first of all, you got to realize, banks make most of their money off of loans.
Right. Right.
They make their money off of loans. And what's the biggest loan that people have? Real estate.
House, yep.
So if they're going to be coming into the community, that means they're going to be giving loans for the community. So my question is, what does that mean? What does that look like as far as community? Because they haven't been there. You know, black people have been living in the area for over 50 years now, at least 50, 55 years. So how,
Yeah, we on our way out too.
We have a few banks in the area, but they're depleted. You know, is the bank still on Chicago Avenue, Laramie? I mean, not Chicago, Madison, Laramie. Yeah, still there.
Madison, Laramie.
Yeah, U.S. Bank.
Oh yeah, U.S. Bank. Yeah, and North Avenue, Cicero.
Austin and Madison. Austin. There's a bank on North Avenue, Cicero.
Yeah. Yep.
Chase. Oh.
No, not North and Cicero. That's
that's towards Cosmo.
Right, that one's on Cosmo.
That's not a.
The North and Cicero is
between Grand and Armitage. On Cicero between Grand and Armitage. Chase.
Oh, that's Chase. Yeah, that's Chase. Yeah.
That's not Austin though.
But they ain't Austin. I mean, that's right there. Yeah, that's not Austin.
We're talking right in.
But in Austin is North Avenue and
You got
Cicero.
one bank in all of Austin?
Nah.
Madison and.
Oh yeah, because Madison and Austin is Oak Park.
Yeah, that's not a.
That's the one. That's the Oak Park.
Madison and Larry is the only bank in all of Austin.
Yeah, Madison and Laramie, yep, and
Great.
North Avenue and Cicero. Those two.
And what kind of bank is on North Avenue and Cicero?
That not ABC. It's a major bank.
Right. But it must be by the it's BMO.
Yeah.
BMO Harris, right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, they built that. Brown up.
Yep.
So, yeah. And of course, the other one is also two banks. Wow.
Yeah, and the credit union.
And the credit
union on Cicero.
Kicking off.
Yeah. And now we're gonna have on Chicago Avenue.
And we
We'll
got
have 4 banks.
in all of Boston. We got to have over what 100,000 properties.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, more than 100,000 properties. Sure. 40 blocks holds almost 4,000 properties. 3,000 some odd properties. You know.
I think the biggest. Speaking of all that property, they keep building affordable housing, and I'm just like, look at all of this property though. Why y'all won't tear this stuff down and build right here?
One thing is if you tear down, your zoning changes. That, you have to build in a whole new zoning process. Right now, most properties that's been around 50, 60, 80 years, they got 9-foot ceilings. The new properties can't have that. They won't allow that because they're talking about energy efficiency. And energy efficiency they don't want you to have high ceilings because the heat rises and that causes more. So all the new zonings, you can't have 9-foot ceilings.
Okay.
Other thing you can't have what these older properties have. You can't be 20 feet to the property. The property line is 25. Can't be that close to the property line anymore. Now you gotta, it's zoned out where you can't go that close to your property. You gotta be a lot more narrower, or you gotta buy 2 lots. There are a lot of things that I was just listening to that lends towards the idea of the older properties, you're better off because they're triple brick fake.
Yeah,
you can still insulate with the triple brick, and there are a lot of things. They're built for over 100 years to be. And these newer properties, you don't get brick. You get brick veneer.
Right.
Just a facade of brick.
Right.
So, they're tearing them down, man. That's a hard one to say. That's a real hard one. Unless you build back the same way.
I'm just saying because we have so much real estate available when you drive down some of these communities, and we keep saying we have so many unhoused, but it's like, okay, why won't we just build on the land that's already existing? Okay, if the brick is good, tear down the inside and just put what we need inside.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm lost right there. Why is that not happening?
There was a situation there was actually a news report about a week or 2 ago. I happened to be driving down Hirsch, crossing Massasoit down the street, and then all of a sudden I see Leah Holt and a news reporter. I don't see the truck, but I see the news reporter coming out with the camera. She's standing there getting ready to do an expose or some report. I'm like looking for yellow tape, and I'm like, man, somebody get shot over here or something? I'm like, no. Made a couple calls on the block. They said, we don't know what's going on. 2 days later, we find out Grace and Peace Church bought that property on the corner. And when we walked to 40, right on that northeast corner, where that young lady we met, she had some kids, she came out. The young girl.
Going on what?
Of Hirsch and Massasoit. On the Hirsch, remember her house door was on the Hirsch side. It was on the Hirsch side. You remember when the guys when they brought the Army tanks out?
Right.
Next to that, she was the corner property.
Okay.
When they brought, you talked to her.
Okay.
I remember you talking to her. And she had some young kids. She looked like she couldn't have been more than 30 something.
Right.
Maybe not even 40. And we were asking her how long she had been there. She said she had been there about 6 years or 5 years.
I remember. I'm just trying to picture the property.
This is what makes you remember. The roof line had like an arch window, and birds were going in it. And I said, man, look at that. They said, oh, that's the thing that's got birds.
Right
there, right on that corner. And you came in on the Hirsch side, not on the Massasoit side.
Right.
Everything else was on Massasoit.
Mm-hmm.
So come and find out. Grace and Peace Church.
Okay, yeah. So a home. It was a home, right?
Right. But it was all brick. Like
right. Yeah. Oh, that's the one where they put the new family.
You know about it? Yeah. That's what the report was.
Okay, so Grace and Peace bought and rehabbed it for the new family.
Right, and these people only been here 18 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how you get out of
Yep.
how you
They
get
say
out
this
of
is the American dream.
American dream?
That's what they said. Yeah, that's it. The American dream was always to come to America,
To get
get you a house, you know.
in a year.
Hey man,
And
that's the American dream. These folks, you know, had to climb through the jungles and whatever they got here. But yeah, they had 18 months.
But you can't even show credit history with 18 months.
Doesn't matter.
The bank won't even give you a loan with 18 months credit history.
Don't even matter at this point. The rules have been broken. It don't even matter.
Well,
Yeah, it don't matter.
then they said that he was a mechanic and the wife was a hairdresser. All right, you throw them numbers together. Mechanics make it if you own your own shop, you pulling a $250,000, and you know the way it costs of being a mechanic, but you got a lot of overheads, and you probably don't bring home. If you make $250,000 a year working on cars, you probably only bring home maybe
Right.
100.
So let's bring this inward, right? Because Grace and Peace is a church.
Right.
It's a predominantly Latin church.
Right.
They went and purchased property
In the black community.
in the black, well, you know, for their Latin cousins. You know what I mean? Now, let's look at this. We got an overabundance of churches in our neighborhood. When the last time one of our churches purchased a house for somebody and put them up?
When the last time one of our churches had the connections through government to get assistance to help you?
We always did. What? What?
I don't recall.
Man.
I just found out who was that told me. They said that they got the money to get the house from the city.
All our
I'm like, the city?
Well, I mean,
The city giving church money to give people a house that's only been here a year?
well, from what somebody told me the other day that we spending $30 million on our migrants a month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, okay, a house is what, 300,000? You know?
Right. That house is over. Them houses over.
Yeah, 300,000. So I'm just saying, if we spending $30 million a month, 300,000 ain't nothing but what, 1% of that, 10%.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
that's 10%. But where you going with that? The 10% out of how many?
A month though, because I'm just saying,
we spending $30 million
a month. Yeah, a month. Yes, we're spending a lot of money. We spent a lot of money since they've gotten here. Whether it was the COVID funds or extra funds that were coming from the state, as well as the federal government, we are spending a massive amount of money on our migrant crisis.
So you saying 10% of that $30 million for the first month was spent to buy this house?
I mean, well, just a little part, but you know, I'm just saying, I'm just that's hypothetical that I'm
Well,
putting out there.
Well, that 300,000 you just threw out, that's what it's probably sold for.
Right.
But
right. I mean, in Grace and Peace, who knows? They probably went in and picked up some of these, at least some of the, and I haven't gone in many single family units to see what the conditions of those are, but those will probably fare a lot better than some of these two and three flats. You know what I mean? So you probably won't have to do as much work. You know, maybe throw another 100,000 in there. But I'm just saying, like,
so they probably got it for about what you think?
300. I think it's 3. I think 300.
I'm saying the Grace Peace that rehab.
To rehab it,
they probably got it for
100.
Really large church.
Yeah, that's a big church.
Right.
All I'm saying is because and the congressman brought this up before too, where he said, especially when we have to bury our old, you know, you got to go to a church that grandma been going to for 30, 40 years and been tithing that and everything, and then you got to sit and negotiate with the pastor to do the service and the burial, and you still got to pay for that. But grandma done gave 40 years worth of tithing though every Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, when Congressman said this, he said, why is it that our churches don't build retirement homes for the seniors that have given their life to the church? And I'm like, that's true. Why you don't have a for-profit structure like that so that you can continue to generate revenue for the people that serve the church the longest? So I look at it from perspective.
You got to understand the Christian church, especially in the Black community, they prey on their victimizers. the Christian Catholic Church are like they prey on black people because they know they promise black people a life after this life. So a lot of them don't even care to even do that. That's why, and I preach this on this show, and I'm gonna keep preaching it. That's why I say we need to go back to our African roots, and that's Islam. My cousin passed away a couple years ago. Hassan Sulu Salale Wasanam. He passed away, and guess what? None of us paid a dime. The masjid paid. A masjid is a church. The masjid paid. Now, my grandmother, she cool with a lot of the churches in the neighborhood, Smith and Thomas, all of them. She tells me, oh, yeah, we got to come up with this amount of money for so-and-so, this amount of money for so-and-so, this amount of money, we get it. We got 5,000. We need 2,000 more. So we asking the family to donate. So, again, in Islam, the church take care of that. And also another thing in Islam, what they do, they find you a wife too. They find men and women and they marry them and they create families. They don't do that in the Christian and the Catholic churches because those are for profit. All they care about is profit. And I don't think masjids, I got to do my research, but I don't think masjids, alhamdulillah, is 501Cs. They 501Cs churches, right? Dre?
Yeah, churches are 501.
Well, let me say this. The masjids, what do they call them? The mosques, all of that. I ain't never seen them building no houses in Chicago for people.
But you ain't never been in, you probably never even been in the masjid. Probably never even stepped foot and talked to those brothers in the masjid.
Ain't trying to.
So you can't say what you ain't seen. You can't say what you ain't seen when you ain't even trying to indulge in them brothers.
I was just telling my sister this. There ain't even no black people on the west side with Muslim names. Where they at?
Yeah. See, you're not in the community like that. If you in the community, you know some. Oh yeah, if you in the community, you know some black people in the masjid.
Harris. That jump on Harris.
Yep,
that's a jump.
That's a mad.
That's a mad crack. They need to fix that. That place falls apart.
And you know what? But they take care of people. They feed people. They bring people in. Now to your point, Dre, when you say none of these churches put people in houses, like Grandmama been donating to these people and getting over on all our elders in our community. They getting over on all our elders. But now, Steve, you just said they don't got the connection. Oh, when it comes to aldermen needing to be elected, they got the connection in. When it comes to these mayors, they got the connection in. Why they don't got the connection to put somebody in the house?
That's what I'm saying about the masjid. I don't think that's how you pronounce it either. I don't think it's masjid.
I'm Muslim. That's how you pronounce it. I'm Muslim.
What is a masjid? I never heard of nothing like that. What is it?
It's a church. That's
okay,
it.
What kind of church?
Just like where you go worship at, us Muslims, we go to the mosque or the masjid. That's where we go.
Oh, so it's a mosque. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Because a church can also be called a temple. You know, it's a place of worship. It's just a different name.
Okay. But let me make a point as to what you said. Number one, you said you use Catholic churches and houses and do stuff, but you're mistaken. We got retirement homes, because I'm Catholic. We got retirement homes. We sponsor homes for the orphanage. We got an orphanage place where, the orphans are. We have all kind of stuff. Yeah, they make money. We get money, but we use it to help the poor and help the ones who are unable to help themselves. Now, all you have to do is look at all the different facilities and stuff that's Catholic run.
I don't think he meant Catholic. I don't think he meant. He just,
No, I meant Catholic too, because the Catholics the one gave the okay to for the people to go, for the white man to go enslave blacks. So they got the okay from them. So that's why I got to put them Catholics in there.
Seminaries, but I think they were Protestants. I think they were Protestants. They weren't
Catholic is a Catholic, sister. Don't defend evil, please.
No,
don't defend evil.
Protestants and Catholicism are two different entities.
Same thing. They both Catholic.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know. He don't even realize non-black Muslims don't like black Muslims. He don't even realize it. They don't even acknowledge.
Wait. Oh, what? Yes, they do, Steve.
That's running these stores are pimping you niggas. They pimping you niggas and call yourselves Muslims.
Wait, you went to a whole other thing. You went to I'm not talking about the stores. I'm talking about the church.
I'm telling you what I know. I went to school. I went to university with Muslims, and they told me, man, we don't pay no attention to that. That ain't got nothing. Barry who? He ain't got nothing to do with none of this. This is what they told me. These are Yemenites. These are Palestinians. These are Arab Muslims. They say they ain't got nothing to get down with. This is what they tell me. So I said, okay, well, let the black man feel like he's being brought along. I guess, they want to feel brought along. They gonna feel brought along. And you could tell they treat you, because look in your community. Look how they treat your women. Look how they treat you in the stores. You Muslim, you go in there, they'll treat you like a wet food stamp. You know it. You ain't gonna go in there talking no salam alaikum, and they gonna be, yeah, man, well, nigga, give me my money. Get your alcohol and get up out of here. And they ain't supposed to be selling you alcohol, but they do. And what do y'all do? You go buy the alcohol. The black Muslims.
They're not Muslims, though.
Yes, they are.
They call themselves that, but that's not what they are.
But
you don't acknowledge them as Islam.
But I'm saying, they claim that they're Islamic, Muslim, but again, they just as bad as anybody else.
But those are stores. But when it comes to that mass jig,
they are Muslim.
No, they call themselves Muslims. You can call yourself whatever you want. You can call yourself whatever you want. Don't mean that's what you is. I know a lot of people who used to claim gang. Oh, I'm GD, I'm that. I'm like, no, you ain't. You false.
I guarantee you, if you walk into these guys and told them they weren't Muslim, they're going to look at you like, how can you tell me this? Who are you? I'm telling you, they don't even acknowledge black Muslims. I'm telling you.
Yeah, they do. That's not true.
They acknowledge you as being not part of them. That's what they say.
They definitely do. The Islamic faith acknowledge you way more than the church do. A church. Hold on. Dre, what did they tell you when you came in with your jogging pants in that church? What they tell you?
Talking about it real bad.
Yeah, they talking to a prestigious black man like that. One of the most prestigious black men in the Austin community.
That's because you didn't go to the church.
They called Steve and told him, hey, how your man's gonna come in here with jogging pants on? Like, come on. They got down on me real bad, man. Made me not want to go to that church ever again.
Now guess what? Now guess what, Steve? In the Islamic faith, they wouldn't be able to call you and do that. Because you can't talk behind your brother's a person of the same faith. You couldn't do that. So that show you right there.
They doing it against you niggas.
They doing it right now.
The non-black Arab Muslims calling y'all niggas all day long. Trust me. You ain't see what's going on in TV. The Palestinians calling, man, these niggas ain't helping us. They was you don't know that about your own kind. I'm just here to tell you. You claiming them.
I trust a Muslim before I trust a Christian.
What? You had to make a move one day, but they brought you on the ship, so they left you here, and you had to make the switch up. I get it. Yeah, well, but don't get it wrong, twisted. The Catholic churches, they do more in the black community than any of these churches. You ask me. And mosques and my major, I think it's my Mahaj.
I have never known a mosque to do anything for any person not affiliated with their religion. They discriminate. I have never heard of a Nation of Islam doing anything for black folks but sell damn bean pies in that little newspaper. Now, can anybody dispute that and tell me what a mosque do for the needy? That's
I
not
can't tell you a
affiliated with
single
their
thing.
church.
I can't tell you a single thing at a mosque. Not at least not around here. No.
Okay. So why you putting them on a pedestal? They ain't helping nobody. You should dog them out like you dogging the other churches.
You don't realize.
And wait, where did you see the Muslims at? Selling
On
what?
the
Where did you see
corners.
it?
I even went to
There's one right beside my
to
church.
Bascom
They don't do
87.
anything.
You see them? Okay, now when the last time you seen Catholics on the corner doing anything?
They don't have to be on the corner. They have
you ain't seen.
They have housing. They have outreach program. They have outreach program that reaches out to the poor. They have.
That's what they tell you.
Corner. See, they're organized. Now tell me what a Muslim do.
Sister, don't defend the white man. Don't defend the white man over your people. Don't defend the white man. Please don't do that.
Tell me.
You don't even realize that the Islamic faith and the Arabs enslaved people all the way up until 1950 something.
So I would say this.
What do you talking about the white man? They the same people.
So I say this. I to bring it back though, right? The overwhelming faith of our community is either Christian or Baptist, and some denomination. Catholic is
the same thing. Baptist.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I'm not all the way familiar with the different denominations and all of that good stuff. In fact, I always tell people I'm not a religious person. I don't even subscribe to religion because more people have been lost in the name of religion than any other war ever. So I'm a very spiritual person, believe in God. I would say I have more Christian beliefs though, but that's only more or less because that's what I was raised up into, but I'm always searching for knowledge of things around me. So I'm always open. But to that end, our community is predominantly Christian though. And the fact still remains that we have an overabundance of faith temples that is not doing a whole lot of work in terms of whether it's the development of community or the preservation of it. And that is a problem.
Well,
they know blacks ain't that smart. They gonna give up their money every Sunday and drink from the God, drink wine. Like we don't do that in Islam. Drink wine and eat bread and put some dirt on my forehead. That's crazy. You go to the hellfire for that.
I have a question. Is there has anyone bothered to reach out to some of these churches to say, hey, what if we come together? Because there may be older people that are over these churches that just don't know how to network, or they just don't know how to give on a big scale. Because my church, we feed the needy. But as far as buying property, they don't know a whole lot about how we would come together and purchase property. But if you had a network of churches that say, hey, let's come together monthly, let's pay this amount of money, and let's focus on buying a property and putting a family in it. Has anyone bothered to do that?
That's a good point.
Excellent point.
Good
Okay.
point. Man,
there were some like out south, the House of Hope. They were developing some properties out in Roseland area out south. You know, some of these mega churches, they were doing it, but there ain't no mega churches no more because everybody them bailed. The church structure's still there, but they don't have any.
Well, we have Bill Winston, shit, basically bought the whole strip of Forest Park and built all of that. You know, so that's a beautiful thing. Who knows what that church has been doing, right? So yeah, you know, more than likely because they created a proper structure, like seriously.
Got a bank.
Man, they got a bank. They have a bookstore. They have a business center,
restaurant.
I mean, you know, their grocery store. Man, I'm talking about they have community. They literally built a community.
Away from it.
And school, I mean, everything that you would need as a community-based structure, like they actually created from the church.
It's not in the community.
Are you talking about Bill Winston? Are you talking about Bill Winston?
Yeah, Winston, yeah.
Well, he has all of that, but I don't think he has any housing. And most of his resources go to his members. You know, the man, what he's doing is great, but I've never seen him reach out to the needy. I've never seen that.
Oh, he's saying the needy is us. It starts with us. Well, that's what he's saying. The people in the church.
Right. I was just saying that's at least an example of a black church that I know of that has created infrastructure from the church. It started from the church, but it has grown to now. Obviously, he's purchased multiple properties in Forest Park along Roosevelt in one location. So again, you have a bookstore, you have a restaurant, you have a school, you have a business center, you have a grocery store. You literally have all of these different things that were purchased directly from the church. I don't know about housing, but I would think that a person that did all of that would consider housing as well.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about him, but I haven't heard of him having a food pantry, or I have not heard of him reaching out. I know people who go there, you know, and think the man can walk for water, but I have not seen anything he's done or is advocating for those less advantaged if they don't belong to his church. And I'm still trying to determine whether all that space he has is really beneficial, because I went in there and the prices are really not that equitable to my income. You know, when I go into his restaurant and stuff, you know, I'm making a sacrifice to go. It's not like I can afford to eat there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or anything like that. And the stores that have clothing, they're kind of outlandish as well. I haven't been to the grocery store yet.
You mean the buffet? You talking about the buffet like $11? You can eat whatever you want.
No. Last time I went there was more than $11. I think it was $14.99 or something like that. It wasn't no $11. I can afford $11. But I think it was a little more than that.
You know what? It is a little more than that. Because I think last time I went there, I ended up spending like $40 or something like that for 2 people. So nevertheless, it's okay once in a while. But the problem is they never had what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there, you're like, I want this macaroni. The food is all gone. It's like, we don't have no more of that. We ain't got no more of that. Okay, whatever. That's enough for me. You know, you got to catch them when you catch them, I guess. There's no consistency.
And actually, the food not that great, because I went in there and I had some sweet potatoes. Oh, they look so good. Oh, I got that sweet potatoes and the catfish and all this stuff just loaded up my plate.
Right.
Sweet potatoes were raw. They were hard and crunchy. So I went and complained plain, and they said, "Well, we're gonna tell our chef he'll go back and put it back in the oven," and that's what they did. But you know, hey, I guess it is what it is. He's doing great for those who think he's doing great.
Have you been back?
I haven't been back recently.
Oh,
I think the last time I was there was like, it was for anniversary party or something. I went with for a friend of mine.
I've heard.
It was like last year.
I've heard. Right. It is what it is. It's, you know, they struggling too. Well, all places of worship are struggling. They don't have the people anymore.
Yeah.
You know, people are just gone. No way. I talked to a guy that was a deacon for 40 some years, and I said, "Why are you not at the church anymore?" The minister told me you're not there. He said, "Well, I how do you put it? I've learned the word a long time ago, so the word ain't changing. I ain't learned.
Because young people ain't going enough. That's what it is. Young people ain't going enough. But that's because, just like what I'm speaking about now, we done seen grandma and grandpa go through their whole life being in that church, still struggling. And now we're like, so you expect me to do the same thing? And you can say the same thing as it relates to politics. I've seen grandma and grandpa, mom and daddy do it this way. And you expect me to do the same thing with no changes? So I mean, young people, you know, every generation brings about its own way of thinking. And much of that way of thinking is going to be different than what came before. And so you can expect those things to change. So that means you have to change with the time and figure out how to connect with them. And in a lot of ways, the churches have yet to figure out how to connect. But when you see some of these younger pastors, they're the ones thriving. Because you know how they showing up? They showing up with a lot of jewels on. They showing up. They look real fresh. They got nice clothes, nice shoes. You know, they don't dress in suits anymore. They dress down. You might go and see the young pastor wearing a Nike Tech. Bless you. You know what I'm saying? He got Nike Tech and Jordans on. And he got a nice watch. It's glistening. The earrings glistening. You know? Now, if we 40 years ago, you ain't showing up to church like that. Young man, what is your student got? You're disrespecting the church.
Reverend Knight was.
But young
Reverend Knight was always flashy. wasn't he? Arnold.
Yeah, but it probably was in
wearing
the
big rings and jewelry.
What's his name? On area, Edie.
Pastor Edie.
Yeah. LP.
Oh, Iowa? No, LP no, Iowa.
Yeah, him and Pastor LaQuan Whitfield, that church was growing.
It should be come as you are. They say it's come as you are.
Now I say Epstein Hope Church does an amazing job. They have the Hope Pantry. They also have a community development center that focuses on like financial empowerment and other types of teachings that you can go and get from the church. But he's also a person, because he spoke directly to this, he said, you know, one day it was some guys come in straight off the street, and they came into the church. They you know, these probably folk want to hustle, so they look at how folk want to hustle look, and he was like, oh man, you know, he was like, oh, I was thinking like, here we go, you know, but he ain't say he let them rock, you know what I mean? And he said after they came and asked him like, can we use your space for a party? And he was like, everything in me said, no, don't do it. He's like, but I thought, you know, what would God do? You know, so I said, okay, guys, but we got to shut it down at 10 o'clock. He said, so it's 9:55. I'm driving up to the lot. Hey, man, I seen the biggest congregation out there. It smelled like weed. You see the drink. You hear the music. He's like, man, and me and the deacon pull up. He's like, all right, you know, we got to get ready for this one. So he walks over there, And the guy's like, hey, Mr. Pastor, chill, you know. And he's like, all right, well, y'all know I said 10 o'clock. You know, and then the other piece about it, he's like, when they put it together, they actually came to him and said, can we use some of your tables and chairs? Right. So he said, he's like, man, you know, he's like, again, I ain't want to do it, but God just allow these young men, you know. So he said he did all of that. They was respectful. They shut it down on time and everything, and you know, everything was turned back right and proper. So he said the next week they showed up with more of them. You know what I mean? And he was just saying, and so the Pastor Epstein, you know, when you have people like that accepts you, but you know, and understands like you're gonna come as a diamond in the rough. But if I get my hands on you, I could potentially make you a diamond. Like that's what's missing from the church today. Right. You know, again, because with my experience, I'm winning. You feel me? I'm trying to figure out the political situation. My house was right there, my apartment. I rolled out of bed and legit came over there just to hit a word, if you will. You know what I mean? And connect with the folks. These people talk about me like I was a dog. I'm damn. I ain't had nothing but some great stretch hands, man. Like y'all had a soldier, but you didn't realize that. You know what I mean? So. Well, you know, they say many are called, but not everybody are worthy. You know. Mm-hmm. Jeez, I'm telling you. That's a fact, though. A lot of people out here poverty tripping, man. That's a fact. That's a fact. I don't even know how you poverty tripping when ain't nobody even there to give you anything no more. You got 10 people in your congregation. You can't pimp 10. It just ain't enough. Yeah. Another thing, Arnold, did they change the name of what's it called? Prince of Peace. Did they change the name of that church? No. You sure? Because I got word that they having a funeral over there with this guy that died in a big car accident on Cisco. Oh, yeah, Buddha. Been well known. Yeah, Buddha. Yeah. They said his funeral was supposed to be over on Lotus and Van Buren. Well, but it wasn't. They didn't say the name on the obituary. It wasn't Prince of Peace. Well, here's what's happening. Many of them is renting out the actual church. It's pretty much the only difference is they have just changed the church name. Mm-hmm. Now, my understanding is they're negotiating changing and acquiring property. But now, whether they can use their renting name, like we were speaking of Pastor Whitfield, it's Emmaus Lutheran, and then he has his banner and his name there with New Life. You know, he's doing things under New Life, yeah, but he, you know, he's respectful of telling the Lutheran Church on the ring out there, and they're in the process of acquiring. Will be closing in a day. That's the difference. So it's still owned by the Lutherans. Yeah. See, that's the difference between Catholic Church and Lutheran Church. Lutherans will rent their church out. Catholics ain't gonna have you coming in there renting nothing. You gotta buy it, or they gonna let it sit till it rots. They ain't gonna let nobody just rent. Nah, they ain't gonna have.
Not only that, Catholics don't allow politicians in their church to get up there and call and start lying to the people. They don't allow that.
Now that's respectable. That's a respectable trait. I like that.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that with a passion. Mm-hmm. When any politician goes to a church and spew that garbage up there, I hate that. That is. I hate it with a passion. That is kind of true. Because all Catholic churches doing that now. And the only reason I ask that is, when you think of Saint Sabrina, right? Saint Sabrina. I know I've seen some elected officials. Well, let me tell you about Saint Sabrina. First of all, Father Flager, he kind of excommunicated from the Catholic Church. He's still a Catholic priest, but they really try to push him out because of his ways, which I didn't really see any problem with, but it's the structure of the Catholic Church. Now, to answer your question about politicians, when I ran for alderman, I actually went to St. Martin de Porres and Father, what's his name?
He's no longer there. Anyway.
One just retired.
No, not Father Larry. He came before Father Larry. What's his name? The tall, skinny guy. Anyway, I
Father
told him
Tom.
Father Tom, Wells.
Uh-huh.
So I told him I was running. He said, well, he got up, in front of the altar. He said, well, we got Steve Robinson here today. He's running for alderman. So if you guys want to talk to him, you can talk to him in the back of the church after mass. And I was like, wow, he threw me a solid because they don't even do that. They don't even mention you nothing about politics. Now, one thing that did turn me off, and I am Catholic, been born and raised from LA, Lower Alabama, raised Catholic. The thing that turned me off was when Obama became president, the Catholic Church started saying some real foul things. And they were saying things because they knew that Obama's policies were dictated towards the hospitals and how with the new Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, and many of the hospitals in America are run by the Catholic Church. Catholics own more real estate in America than anybody. Right. Between the cemeteries, the schools, the colleges, the churches, the hospitals, and other entities like the fellow was saying, Catholic Church owns probably the largest real estate owners in America. They probably don't own as much as far as volume with money, but they own as when it comes to area. So nevertheless, they started talking against politics in the churches. I'm like, why are we talking about politics in the church? This ain't what it's about. But I got what they were going. They were complaining about how they thought the Affordable Care Act was going to change the doctrine of how they believe their hospitals should be run. And they didn't
That's weird. That's weird because what would that have to do with the church? If the church see the Catholics, they funneling that money from those churches. You ain't gonna have no Saint Peter's and Saint Jude's and all these type of denominations, and that money is not being funneled through. You feel me? Telling y'all, man. You know what? That's a reason you shouldn't be a Catholic. You should actually denounce them.
They didn't want the law to dictate to them as a Catholic entity and a Catholic hospital that they had to do abortions or they had to do whatever the church didn't allow their hospitals to do. You know, and I kind of get it, but
they don't have any jurisdiction over that. The law, what the law is, and the Bible says, listen to the laws of the land. So if the laws of the land dictates that, the Catholic Church should follow suit. Period.
Well, my problem with it all was they were talking about it in church. I don't go to church to hear nothing about politics. I separate all that. Politics and church and state separate. I don't want to hear nothing about what Obama's doing. I don't want to hear nothing about what Catholic hospitals are having problems with politics. I don't want to hear none of that. And that kind of turned me in the Catholic Church because I had never heard that in almost 50-some odd years, anything of the sort. So. It's a fine line. That's all I can tell you.
No, but you know what? One thing you did just say, which really do make sense. If they had a problem with like abortion, then that's a good. I mean, they do have the right to stick their nose in that because abortion is murder. You know what I'm saying? It is murder to have an abortion. And I think a lot of our Christian churches, Baptist churches, especially in the Black community, they should fight more against those laws. You feel me? Because abortion is, it's wrong and it's rampant in the Black community. I know Black on Black crime is bad, but no one kills Black people faster than the Black woman. So,
now don't say that.
Listen.
Don't say that because
I'm just saying the
statistics. Where's the statistics? I don't believe that.
The statistics are out there. So gun 30,000 murders, like 30,000 murders that from the United States. There are more Black babies killed than Four Corner Hustlers, the Bloods, the Crips. Like the black woman, like, she got a graveyard. She holding it down for murder. So
No, I don't believe that.
it's the
'Cause I
truth.
think, you know why I don't believe that?
Hey, Drake,
I
Dr.
see
Drake,
too
could you get
many
the
young
statistics, bro?
girls out here 14, 15, 16 with their stomach poked out. I don't believe that.
Now, how many they kill? Now, how many people they killed before then, though?
I don't know.
A lot. A
And I
lot.
don't think,
Abortion is murder.
out stuff. That ain't
You
true.
can't say where you're getting your facts from, but you gotta, you can't just say that.
I mean, it is the truth. Dr. DeAndre looking it up right now. And when he give you the numbers, the murder rate of the Bloods, the Crips, the Foes versus...
Where did you get the information?
What did I get? I think the CDC has it.
No, where
I don't think so. Do you realize how many white girls in these little Catholic school have abortions because they're young and their parents don't want them to shame them?
They not killing the black women. Black women
But
brag about killing
I'm talking
and chopping
about
up babies.
abortions.
Yeah. Black women brag about killing our babies.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Why you think Steve, Miss Houston, we've been staggering from 12% to, I think, 14% back and forth for decades. We haven't moved the needle because we keep killing our kids.
That's because of birth control. I think birth control has a lot to do with it. Don't nobody want no, everybody wants birth control, and don't nobody want no babies by these no good ass black men who ain't gonna give us no
Close your legs. Close your legs. Close your legs. See,
no,
Islam, you get whooped over the head having a baby.
No, stop blaming the women because the men just as responsible as the women, and they need to put a cap on it.
Ma'am, women
they know what they doing. They don't get a carte blanche pass. They know what they doing.
Women choose who they have sex with. We choose who we marry. Ain't nobody. We choose who we marry. Women choose who they open their legs to. If you open your legs to
the pride, men do the pride.
Right, but if you open your legs to fold,
ain't nobody raping no man or asking him to drop his pants for a woman.
Again,
no, they should
women choose thugs. Women choose the thugs. They choose the bad boys, and they get the results they get. You know, it's not our fault.
It is your fault because you need to keep it in your pants till you're ready to settle down.
Well, let me say this. First of all, there was an abortion clinic right next to Northwest Austin Council for over 30, 40 years. And what I saw in all those periods, I saw more white women and Hispanic women going in there than anything. So I don't know about.
You must have been on Chicago Avenue in Central. Chicago Avenue Menard. That Penrith Plan Hood right there across the street from that pop-up shop. It was nothing but black colored Negroes up in there killing them babies at 13 weeks. And Steve, now Steve, you remember we just had the DNC convention, right? Do you know at the DNC convention they had set up abortion clinics around there so people can get abortion? They don't want they don't want the black race to have more kids. That's why they promote abortion.
So I'm looking at a site right here that's called let me see. Where is that? The Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission. So I'll try to find more, but this was May 6, 2020. That's 2022 that this particular article came out. It says women of color have the most abortions. That's the headline. It says among the 30 areas that reported race by ethnicity data for 2019, non-Hispanic white women and non-Hispanic black women accounted for the largest percentages of all abortions, 33.4 and 38.4 respectively. And Hispanic women and non-Hispanic women and the other race category accounted for smaller percentages. Non-Hispanic white women had the lowest abortion rate, 6.6 abortions per 1,000 women. and ratio, 117 abortions per live birth. And non-Hispanic Black women had the highest abortion rate, 23.8 abortions per women, and ratio, 386 abortions per 1,000 live births.
Now, where's these stats coming from?
Come on now, I speak the truth.
No, where's it coming from? When you start reading statistics, you gotta go even further because people can spew out anything. But where's the documentation? Because I don't believe that. And
so he gave you facts and you don't believe the facts?
I don't believe nothing nobody read off a book for me because I need to do research for myself.
What you read in a book.
Now, DeAndre, where did these stats come from?
So this is called I'm going to look for more, though, while we're still talking, but this is called the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention. And it was an article written in 2022.
Oh, I don't even know who they are. I never heard of them. Are they credible? Where they come from? What are their records? You know, you can't just spit stats to me by anybody can write anything. That's just like the internet. You believe everything you read on the internet. But, you know, you have to be credible.
I'm in agreement with you.
They're not credible. I don't believe nothing. You know, I don't believe everything I read because I know better. They are not credible.
Women lead in abortions, period. They make music of it. They chop the kids up. Huh?
Gotta watch the right-wing websites. You know how they go.
So wait a minute. How many white people you know, Steve, that's Baptist? This came from a Baptist Southern church. So you don't believe?
Wait.
Here you go. We're gonna move the goalposts.
Come out of a Baptist church.
You said you was Baptist?
Falseness, they don't have document or any kind of credible resource to prove this.
Well, you said you was Baptist?
I was in a Baptist church a long time before I became Catholic. And most of everything they told me was not credible. It was false until I started reading that book for myself. Now, I just don't believe everything people tell me. I can't.
Yeah, but if you can jump from Baptist religion to the Catholic religion, why can't you? You quick to jump denominations and religions.
Okay,
so
wait.
You know, in Chicago, we call that flip-flopping.
Wait, the reason why I left my Baptist church, I went to 3 of them, because the head of the church was corrupt. Okay? He was very corrupt. And to this day, when I see him, he hold his head down because I called him on it. And then I left. See, I don't make my moves without thinking and trying to make sure I'm right. When I do something, I make sure there's no other recourse. So, and that's why I left. Because when you put sin and dirt in my faith, you disrespecting me. You should be at least have some morals and try to hide it or sneak it. But when you do it in my face, you telling me something.
You say have some morals. That's your moral to hide and sneak it. You say do something sneaky so that you don't put it in my face, huh?
That's right. Because that's blatant. That's telling me you don't respect me at all. Because when I did my dirt, I try to hide it. I don't put it in my mama's face and let her know I'm doing dirt.
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah, he on the you got to down there.
You say, all right, doing research. I'm gonna tell you, I'm with you, Miss Allen. I got your back. I told you I'm charging that arm. Now, Mosaic, you ain't gonna be gangster like I was. Now you only gonna get 5 minutes. First hour. So
to breathe that for
5
10 minutes to talk time.
honestly believe, though, I really believe, if people believe whatever they want to believe, and they had the proper structures in place to lead them in the right direction they want to believe, it's better. It's better for everybody. Because a lot of the heinous acts that are going on, and I don't want to say all, but many of them are coming from people that don't have any belief system.
All right, so look, hold
or
on.
structure.
All right, so we found a little bit of information. Now, this comes directly from the CDC. It says, I'm going to start off a little top. Now, this says the District of Columbia. It say in the District of Columbia, in the 46 states that reported age data to the CDC in 2021, the majority of women who had abortions, 57% were in their 20s, while 3 in 10, 31% were in their 30s. Teens ages 13 to 19 accounted for 8% of those, while women ages 40 to 44 accounted for 4%. The vast majority of women who had abortions in 2021 were unmarried, that was 87%, while married women accounted for 13%, and that is coming directly from data of 37 states. It says, in the District of Columbia, New York City, but not the rest of New York, and the 31 states that reported racial and ethnic data on abortion to the CDC, 42% of all women who had abortions in 2021 were non-Hispanic Black, while 30% were non-Hispanic White, 22% were Hispanic, and 6% were other races. Looking at the abortion rate among those ages 15 to 44, there were 28.6 abortions per 1,000 non-Hispanic Black women in 2021, 12.3 abortions per 1,000 Hispanic women, 6.4 abortions per 1,000 non-Hispanic White women, and 9.2 abortions per 1,000 women of other races. And that comes directly from the CDC and of the 31 states, DC and New York City, that keeps track of demographic data as it relates to color. So, according to this, it is Black women.
So again, y'all, you know, I know a lot of people think that I'm downing Black people, Black women, Black men. I talk about the Black men that fold the gang members loitering on the corner, making it unsafe for younger people and older people to actually just get to the store because they crowding the store selling they fake weed and pills and fentanyl. But what I am is I'm holding Black people to a higher standard. So I'm holding our feet to the fire, and I put my daughter under the same jurisdictions. I don't let my daughter wear skimpy, skanky clothes. When she come out from Vegas with me, I go through her clothes. Whatever I don't like or I find disrespectful, I throw it away. She don't watch no music videos. She don't listen to no music. You know what I'm saying? We putting on. I let her watch stuff I watched when I was a kid. She be like, Dad, this old. I don't want to watch Rugrats. Oh well, you're gonna watch it. So again, I'm holding us to the fire. And if anybody got a COVID shot, if any of y'all got a COVID shot, I don't want to hear you saying, well, I don't believe the CDC told you to go get your COVID shot. They lied to you about that. Again, Black women, they kill way more than Black on Black crime. These are facts. I know they sound harsh. And it's probably my tone, but I'm not a nice man. Go ahead.
Said that. That statistic didn't say that.
He just told you the abortion rate is higher amongst Black people.
Yeah, but it didn't say that it was more than Black on Black crime.
It is more on Black crime. He gonna look it up. Whatever I say is true. I read the message to the Black man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I know what I'm talking about.
1,000 per 1,000. It said 28.6 per 1,000.
And I woke up.
And I'm gonna see what the crime rate so what we looking at, murder rate per 1,000 of Black people, Black on Black?
Okay. Murder rate.
Most Black.
Okay, what? Okay.
But my question is, you said that's in Washington, D.C. That's not the whole community. That's just Washington, D.C.
No. No, that was 31 states Washington, D.C., and because you know, D.C. is what do we call it?
The capital.
Right, a district. So, no, it's a district. It doesn't. We don't.
District of Columbia.
Right, the District of Columbia. So they were saying 31 states, New York City, not the entire New York state, but New York City, 31 states, and D.C. submitted data pertaining to race. And out of that data, Black women, non-Hispanic Black women, had the highest abortion rate, 28.6 per 1,000. Right, you still got 19 remaining states though. So.
It don't matter. 31 is a lot. Come on now, let's stop it, y'all. Just accept it. I know it hurts your feelings.
Okay, no, but that's a low sample out of 1,000 people. Did you say 1,000 was the sample?
Per 1,000.
Oh, per 1,000.
Yeah, per 1,000. Yeah, per 1,000.
Every
Black woman is a murderer.
1,000, you're gonna basically get the same measurement ratio. In addition, there's 19 remaining states out there that constitute the whole United States. And there's going to be more of the same data.
Yeah. My question is, where they getting the money to do these abortions? Shit, the federal government.
See, they tell you
the federal government.
No, abortion clinics don't run like that.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. Federal government might give them some money, but not enough.
They give them all the money because they want to. It's about to be Trump want to make it per state. He wants the state to be able to decide. You feel me? Which is a lot of people agree with that. But when the federal government decide, the government shouldn't have no business in our lives like that. Now, I do agree with women when it comes to that. But again, you know what I'm saying? This is true. You know, our women kill our kids.
Different. So you just said the government, the federal government or the state government. It's still government.
But let's keep it 100. There's a difference between federal and state. If you ever had a paycheck and you had a state take out taxes versus the federal, you know the federal taking a little bit more.
But it's government.
But again, government is compartmentalized, Steve. Everything is compartmentalized, even in the church.
The government shouldn't have their business in people's personal affairs.
The federal government. The federal government.
The local government can.
The local, because the local government is voted by the local people. So if the local people is voting for the people with their interests, then yes, it should be. The federal government should just protect me from outside entities and foreign and domestic terrorism. That's what the federal government for. State government is supposed to look after the state of the people.
Well, all I got to say is that the government need to come out of my bedroom and stay in their own. They can't control nothing about my personal body. They need to do what they're supposed to do. And that's not to guard my bedroom.
To murder. If you're gonna murder, then we gotta hold you down.
Well, they don't call it murder. I don't. If they do, I call it a woman's choice to do what she think is best for her at the time.
Murder.
Well, call it what you want to call it, but
can I say something?
Sure.
Can I say something? I was actually buying some drinks, some protein drinks, so I didn't hear everything, but I do know that they, and I don't know if you guys have mentioned this or not, but I do know that they purposely set up these abortion clinics in Black communities.
Oh, you did.
And if you're looking at the fact that you can't feed yourself and you got another mouth to feed, yes, I know that they made that decision. Some of them made that decision. Some of them did not. But if you're looking at whether or not you're going to feed yourself, or you're going to feed yourself plus someone else plus another person, you might look at that as your only recourse, and not knowing all the different options that they have out there. So they put that in our face in these low income areas. They're not all black, but these low income areas, they put that in our face so that we think there's no other option. So I just wanna say that, because I don't believe in abortion either, but you know, when you are pushing that narrative to people who don't have the resources, then they're going to take the easier route because they don't know any better.
The resource is called Trojan.
And also,
the resource is called
that
Trojan.
falls on the black
Magicom.
man who impregnated these women. They didn't just fall out the sky and I'm pregnant. There comes a responsibility for both parties. And, you know, you're putting all the blame on women when it should be put on the men as well. Because they're the one that impregnated these women. They didn't do it by themselves.
Shouldn't have been acting grown. Shouldn't have been acting grown. You shouldn't have been acting grown. Your father would have told you not to do it. Your father would have went upside that head.
But some of these girls don't have fathers. They don't have father figures even. So there's a
life lesson that you need to learn, meaning you have to go to term, you have to take care of this kid and contribute. You're gonna learn some way, but you don't learn by, oh, I messed up because I don't have a father. I'm going to go kill a living at 13 weeks. The baby has a brain, facial structure, fingertips, phalanges, and cuticles, toes.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree that abortion is wrong. I agree that abortion is wrong. However, I'm just saying, put yourself in their shoes. Some of these girls, they don't know any better. And so you can't put
do you believe they never heard of condoms?
I'm just saying you can't group everybody in the same group. And it's wrong to do so.
And on that note, don't men know what condoms are? You know, you're still putting all the blame on the female.
Yeah, because women mature faster than boys.
You're giving the men a pass. You know, you're not putting no blame on the men. These men have to be more responsible. They have to know that if I lay down with a girl, I might get her pregnant. And their attitude is, who gives a fuck? Simple as that, because they keep doing it and not thinking about the consequences of their behaviors. Because a male-oriented society places the blame fully on the women, which is wrong.
Close your legs.
No, keep it in your pants. Or be responsible.
He ain't told you all the babies he been killing in that bathroom with his hand in that vaccine that he been getting from B. Diddy.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. It's been a Holocaust if you want to do it like that. Trillions.
Church in the Catholic Church, that ain't allowed.
Oh man.
BB almost there. He tried to get the case of baby oil for P. Diddy.
He did wrong for all that baby oil. He wrong for that. I was looking for the baby oil. I see where it's at.
Oh man, yeah. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't find the statistics. I can see a lot of crime rates, but I can't find the per 1,000 to compare.
So let's agree to this though. Let's not even call it black on black crime, because crime is crime. We've already determined that. Period. Because when it happens in other communities, we don't call it Hispanic or Hispanic crime. Like they just had a mass shooting over in Little Village, and the day before that, they had another shooting over there. And so we say, oh, look at all the Hispanic on Hispanic crime, or Mexican on Mexican crime, or whatever. They never say that. It's crime.
Yeah, but I would probably say they do, but we're not in their community though. So I'm sure they talk about it in that way though.
No, I ain't never heard nobody say Hispanic or Hispanic crime ever in my life.
Right, but I'm saying that's because I'm saying we're not in their community, so we don't know if they talk about it. So when we talk about our crime, we say black on black because we know that it's us committed against us. We don't know if because we're not in their community. You know what I mean? Like we don't.
Right, but the first time you heard black on black crime was not in your community. It was on probably a news broadcast. You heard it on the news. Fox News.
Okay,
they would never say.
Okay, respectful. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. They're the drivers of all of this madness in many cases.
I mean,
when they start with much of the terminologies and much of the things we deal with.
I mean, but we everything that we're under was developed by the dominant culture to keep us in the system. Like even this abortion conversation that we're talking about, we're talking about bringing the clinic into the community as a way to give women with underdeveloped brains an opportunity to say, this is going to make my life even harder than it is now. So I should probably do something about it. And I'm sure there's money associated with killing Black life, which we already know is true because all of the fucking prisons are majorly filled with Black men who are giving their time to obviously we call it new Jim Crow. It's a new slave plantation. So they're making money off of that way.
I don't know if they're giving their time.
Shit, I'm gonna say it's given because it's a choice. Just like a man can choose to wear a condom with a woman, he can choose to not pick up a gun. You know what I mean? So and we can all sit here and talk about again all of the systems that we're under that psychologically have put us in a position to make these types of decisions. But we always got an example of an Arnold, of a Steve, of a DeAndre, of a Mosaic, of a Tiny, of a whoever else that came directly from these communities that may have been influenced by these communities. We are from these communities, but not of it in the sense that we landed in jail and had our freedom taken away where we can't provide for our family and or be involved in the community. So it's always a choice at the end of the day.
But I don't think the choice is that I'm going to do this crime and then I'm willing to go to jail. I don't think that's the choice. I think that's saying I'll do this crime and I'm hoping I don't get caught.
No, sir.
I think they want to get caught.
No, sir. Oh no, you can't. The brazen nature in which we approach crime today. Yeah, you want to get that's a strike. It's different when you was growing up in the 70s, 80s. Yeah. They wasn't out here acting a fool the way they is now. That wasn't a strike to go to jail. We always knew that the ones that got caught was the fools. The ones that didn't were the ones that was enjoying the fruits of not getting caught. Today, with the event of social media, that's a strike. Yeah, I've been to the county. Shit, I did about 3 bids already. Come on, man, you get more clouded up from going inside and being able to say that you did it than you did back in the day.
Bro, our own cousin, Jabby, bro, in the 90s, bro, they threw him several parties, bro. Oh, Jabby, he getting out of jail. They threw it. They never threw me a party on my birthday, not one time. But when he got out of jail, they threw him a party. Oh, my mama, yeah, on the 4 Corner Hustler. Love, hate, kill, take, 438.
Fact, our cousins were 5-star Universal with black gloves. Everybody, man, folk coming home. It's a party, it's a parade. We just love our gang member as family members. And when it came to them doing dirt, we love to hear them do dirt. But where they at now? None of their ass. They ass is all fucking out. Where they at now? Period. Like they look bad. They doing bad. Like it's nothing.
Yep.
It's nothing. I'm talking about we had 5-star Universal. That's all I grew up around. It's 5-star Universal. This shit trash. It's nothing. Again, we had a choice. When I was in school, yes, I gang banged. I was out there acting a fool. We jumping on people. We doing the whole 9, 10, 11, 12. And I still I'm going to Howard. I want to go to school. When I went to school, I had my black glove on. Motherfucker was looking at me crazy, like, what you want? Dude pushed me out, hit him with a bat. I tried to hit him in the neck. I wanted to kill him. I wanted to see, and then I got locked up, went to jail. I'm laying on the fucking the aluminum pan ass bed with an old man. What you in for? I just hit a nigga head with a bat. And Howard, he what? Hey man, this ain't for you. Don't ever bring your ass back here again. And can you do me a favor? Hand me some of that tissue. Boom, he gave me the tissue. He put the tissue over my head. See, I gotta take the shit. You need to turn that way. Oh, no. I'm hell no. I ain't never coming back here again. Never. Nah, like, come on, man. It's a choice. It's a choice at that point.
Well, choices are made based on guidance. Don't you think? If you guide it a particular way.
Nah, choice made up of experience. You make choice is personal. Choice is ownership. We all have the ability to make choices every single day. And it's dependent on how we choose to own our lives. Now, I agree. Foundationally speaking, we all are a sum of our teachings, our upbringing, the culture around us, the people around us. Yeah, absolutely. But it gets to a point where you have to make a decision between your life, you living for yourself, or for other people.
So what does that cut off?
I mean, it cuts off when you want it to cut off, period.
So if you 12, 13, 14 years old, you got to make those kind of grown-up decisions.
I mean, yeah, you make that choice. You know how many 13-year-olds out there will say, Mom, I was the man of the house, so I decided to go to work, or I decided to sell drugs, or I decided to get an education, or I decided to play football.
That's because they weren't guided. Those are the years you're supposed to be guided. You're not supposed to be on your own at those years. You're supposed to be guided and shown the right way. I mean, I honestly believe you're supposed to, because the way that, when you're the one told me, the mind isn't developed until after
25.
Yeah. And I'm like, what? When did that come in? Who came up with that? Hey, I thought you grown once you got the means and the know how to make it work. But obviously, theoretically, based on medical and
right.
or
yeah, just
physiology,
right.
That's what it is.
Ain't no different than we continue to grow like bones and all that stuff. So it's the same thing with.
But you can't develop a young person's mind before they're 25 if they're guided and given the right information. Yeah, agreed. But let's go back to the 25. Then, if that's the case, those individuals still need guidance because they can go the wrong way in those 25 years. And I'm just saying that because, I made this comment to CB one time. I said, CB, I went to Emmett. You went to Emmett, graduated from Emmett. A lot of these brothers came out of Emmett Grammar School on Madison and Central, the heart of Austin. Mm-hmm. I got a master's degree. Mm-hmm. It was hard when I was doing it, staying up late, doing papers 3, 4 in the morning, going to work, all that, doing term papers, all this other stuff. But I said, now it's over. It wasn't that hard. And I said, man, anybody could do it. You know what CB told me? He said, bro, Steve, the difference is you had somebody putting a knee in your back. A lot of these guys didn't. And that's what they need. They need it or need. And I was like, yeah, it could be possibly true. That could be possibly true. You know, because if you don't have somebody guiding you and supporting you and putting the need, sometimes you need all of that. You need to be pointed out the direction. You need somebody to say, okay, now point it while you ain't moving. Okay, now they gotta pull you a little bit.
Right.
Matter of fact, they pulling you with their own strength. Go that way. Okay, now they pulling you, they support you. The other part is they got to put a knee in your back because when they pull you, you got to have somebody push you in the back to go, hey, with a little pain behind it.
I'll say this. So my grandmother, the one that adopted us, when I came back from Howard and I sat and had to talk with her, and going through everything that happened there, she said, okay, so what you gonna do? Because she's like, you got to get the land skin. That's what she called it. You know what I mean? So I would always continue to have sheepskin. Yeah, I would always lambskin's a little different. I would always continue to have conversations with her at different intervals until she passed, and much of it focused on like just my education and what I was continuing to do. I always joke, she told me to go to school, she just never told me what to do once I got there. You know what I mean? Or what to do once I got the degree. But regardless, so I feel that though it's always good to have a support system of somebody that's at least trying to tell you that this is something that's an option. Give you option. You know what I mean? And that was the person, because I think when you look at the difference in terms of me going to school and my twin, like he did not always go back to the family, and I think part of it was because he had a child early, so he felt like he might have let some folks down or something, so he didn't keep going. I kept going though, and just having conversations. So maybe that is I liken that to the reason why I now have a PhD, because that's what she kept saying, and she was somebody that I trusted in, because obviously she raised us from baby to where we are now, and I attribute my educational prowess to being not only with her but her daughter, whom when she went to work, she left us over there, and she would have us working on our timetables and spelling and cursive and doing all types of at-home work before we could even go out and play.
It's all about the guys.
So I mean that's
even for me, I didn't have to have a knee in my back, because all my brothers and sisters went to college, all but one. But even the oldest one, he was already developing his own career as which what they at the time they called merchant marines, which really what it was. Like you go overseas, he was on a ship. That was what he did. But I saw, being the youngest, I saw everybody above me going to college. So I'm like, that's the direction I gotta go. It wasn't even like my mother ain't never tell me I gotta go to college. My mother ain't never said that's what you gotta do. You better do that. I'm like, yeah, that's the way I gotta go. Cause I done see 4 or 5 y'all already do it. So, I mean, and I'm the youngest by 7 years, 12 years, or something like that. And the stretch of 20 years almost, between the oldest. But nevertheless, you gotta have some guidance, man. That's just the truth. Yeah, it's a choice to make stupid mistakes, do stupid things, but I don't think they're choosing to do it with the idea that, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'm just gonna end up in jail. That's why I choose to be. Nah. If you ever go to jail, they always put you in for it. Everybody say nothing. I ain't did nothing. Everybody in jail ain't did nothing. But in reality, a lot of times they was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I heard there's a black man on death row. I don't know what state he is, but they refusing. The governor of the state is refusing, and everybody say he didn't do it. The witnesses, all this and that. But they said that he up to be executed. I don't know if it already happened now, but it was just something that happened just recently, and I don't know what state. Usually it sounds like something in Texas. Texas, they pull that switch in a minute. Don't hear nothing else. Raise your hand, put that. Won't hear nothing. They believe in the death penalty in Texas. They don't even short stop.
Oh, my bad. My brother said he didn't want to hear our grandma tell him to go to school. He ain't never liked school like that. It wasn't his thing.
Well, I mean, it's too late for everybody.
Nah, it ain't.
But you got to know how to use the happy medium.
Right.
Right. Well, you know what? A teacher, when I was at the preschool, my 4th grade teacher, Miss Randall, said, she said, you're going to be in school the rest of your life. So I'm like, huh? The rest of my life? I'm like, I don't want to be in school the rest of my life. I'm hating that I'm in 4th grade, trying to get out in the next 4 years. But she said, and then she said, come back when you get your bachelor's degree or your master's degree. She literally said that. I don't even know why they didn't make sense to me then in 4th grade. Right. Make sure you come back and see me. Yeah. And I missed her by about 3 years going back to see her before she retired. But nevertheless, I thought it was just lunacy to say you're gonna be in school the rest of your life. But what she was saying is you're gonna constantly have
You
to
always be
learn.
learning shit.
If
Right.
you ain't
Always
learning,
be
you ain't
learning.
earning.
Fact. Always be learning. Fact.
You ain't learning, you ain't earning.
Fact. Right. I'm a proponent of that. I'm not telling anybody to go to school. I refuse to tell anybody to go to an institution because it's overrated. Now that I've gone through the process, if you're not going to be a specialist, you should not go to school. Don't go to school at all.
Look, my
You know what I
daughter's
mean?
talking about going back to her master's. And I told her at the beginning when she was going to go back, I said, if the company you work for
Right.
ain't willing to pay you
Right.
and see that you worth it, you need to reevaluate that spending your own money on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend my money on it. Especially not nothing in business. I wouldn't do anything in business. You build a business, you can go hire the people with degrees to run it. You don't need any business degree.
But you do need to know who you watching.
Yeah, that's a fact. Now you got to be versed and be able to understand because they will take advantage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing that smart people will do. They will try to take advantage of you all day.
Slick, smart people.
Oh yeah, for sure. They'll try to take advantage of you. Man, I mean, shit. As long as you ain't got to be smart. If you know more than the person that's in front of you, you will ultimately hold an advantage over them. And if you feel like you can take advantage, then you're going to take advantage.
Opportunity, that door gonna open every time
That's
you
a fact.
want it to.
Yeah, that's a fact.
As long as you know that they can't close it on you.
That's a fact.
They peep in on it. That's what they
That's
gonna
fact.
do.
But yeah, nah,
Man.
I'm more. I am going to encourage because I'm still on that track to go get my electrician certification next year. I'm definitely going to get that. We're gonna finish that off because again, I want to tell people that they should be involved in the trade, but I don't want to do it without having that because then I'd just be sounding like somebody that's just saying something without merit. You know what I mean?
Well, you ain't gotta tell people that it's good to eat healthy, and you ain't eating everything healthy.
Nah, but you got to though. It looks better. You got for example, I can't tell people to go out and live and be healthy if I'm 40, 50 pounds overweight.
But healthy is just not eating right. There are other things you have to do to be healthy.
No, you gotta mainly eat.
No, because you can eat.
Trying to look like this guy. This guy,
He don't do no exercise, baby. About 50, but he don't exercise.
Hey, these smartphones, they record all your body activities. For example, 2,500 steps each day, 7 days a week.
That's what's up.
2,200 steps is a mile.
Okay.
You have to.
So you doing basic
I
exercise.
keep it
I'm
moving.
saying
That's it. Yeah.
I'm saying DeAndre said that being healthy means you got to do a regimen. I guess that's just a basic regimen for those that.
What else? So what else you saying you need to be healthy?
Well, I mean, first of all, you do need to eat properly, right? You need to have physical activity.
Yeah.
And sleep is a big part of it. But you're not getting adequate sleep and rest.
6 to 8 hours.
Man, your brain, your body can't regenerate. Much dies if you don't get that.
Right.
So there are different segments of things that you have to do. But I'm saying to you, you can still tell someone, hey, you should do something. You don't have to have everything in place.
Yeah, you can. I just don't operate like that. I don't talk to anybody about anything that I haven't done, or at least tried before. I can't because I just don't. I don't feel authentic in being able to give advice.
When you get old enough, just having the knowledge is good to give people. You ain't have to be the one that walk and talk. You just have to have read and gotten the information. And if you could pass on good information, and as you get older and you could achieve and acquire good information, you don't theoretically have to have walked that walk and talk that talk. Because wisdom comes with age for a reason. It comes for a reason. I mean, there are many things I can tell people I ain't never done. I ain't never gang banged. I ain't never did drugs, but I can tell you this much: with my wisdom and age, that shit gonna get you fucked up. You're gonna be in a bad situation doing it. I ain't seen too many people come out of that unscathed in one way or another. But again, age, wisdom. You don't have to really walk the walk and talk the talk. I'm a big believer in. I ain't got to get in the line where they beat people in the head with a stick to say maybe this is the line I shouldn't be in because you're gonna get brain damage if you get in that line. The stick is gonna hurt you. So I can look at the front of the line and see what's going on, rather than standing in that line and getting the same punishment and go, oh yeah, this is what's gonna happen. Yeah, this is what this results in. No, I don't need to do that.
Right.
And you don't need to. And people don't need to follow.
Well, like they say, smart man learn from his own mistakes. Wise man learn from the mistakes of others.
Yeah.
That's all.
And look, and the person that wants to be wise, they'll listen. And like Ella said, follow it up with some facts by investigating and doing your own research too. But if you listen, that gets you in the frame and the path. That gets you, as I said, that's leading you somewhere. You're getting guided. And now you have to find out, now that I'm being guided, is this really real? Is this really true? Is this really where I need to be? Is this really what's going to happen? And then you move forward from there. But you don't always have to walk the walk, talk to guide people. Age, wisdom, people can kind of step back and go, hey, he's telling me for a reason because he knows better.
That's fact.
Don't look like, look at many of people out here. Look at the people, I hate to say use this as an example, but look at these people following Donald Trump. You look at this crowd and you say, this piece of shit body he got, and he's gonna guide somebody on what? On a better life? This dude eats hamburgers and cheeseburgers for dinner every day. This is what he has at the White House for White House banquet. McDonald's burgers, cheeseburgers. I'm like, wow, this is different. Is this counterculture?
Mm-hmm.
But you let him tell it. He's everything he's done has been the best. He's the greatest. He's the only one that ever done anything better than anybody else. And then you look at him, like, wow.
I always find it interesting, though. I was watching something about Charleston White today. Y'all hate Charleston White. Yes, y'all would. He mosaic on steroids. Charleston White was saying how in the 80s, 90s, probably even 1000s, everybody that was black was supporting Donald Trump. The NAACP had given him an award alongside Rosa Parks and other folks. He was with all the entertainers, all the celebrities, all the ball players, everything. And then now that he said, well, I'm Republican, which is interesting because once again, it was the Republican Party that has done the most for black people. Technically, the Democrats actually were pushing back against most of it. That folks are now saying that they don't support him. So it's like, why? Yeah, but that's what it is, though.
No, Donald Trump has always been who he is. The only reason those people did anything because they thought they were going to get money from him. Donald Trump in the 80s, he doubled down then on the Central Park 5. He showed his true colors then.
Right.
Just certain black people, the sellouts, did what they did. Did I see Donald Trump as a person in the headlines? Yeah, I heard that's a millionaire. That's one of the millionaires I know. Did I know he was a good guy or a bad guy? Didn't know one way or another. One thing I do know, he was friends with the Clintons when he was a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did all that change? So, you can't just say the black people was rolling on what he was rolling. White people was rolling with that garbage he was selling too. But I'm gonna tell you the thing that got me, when he started that Apprentice show. He really started showing himself. Started showing on that TV show how he was treating the black contestants versus the white contestants. And there was a black guy that finally won the Apprentice. And at the end of that, when the guy got this, it was like two people, the black guy and the white guy. And the black guy ended up winning.
Right.
And he had to fire the white guy. Before he said, you're fired to the white guy, he said, I would think you, my black man here, you should give him an equal spot. You should let him, you should co-chair this one. He ain't never had some white people on there to co-chair shit when they won. But as soon as the black guy won, he wanted him to co-chair. And I said, this dude here, he trash. And I seen some other things he had been doing that connotated him being trash.
Right.
But it just started rolling out more and more when he talked about the 9/11 stuff, you know.
Right.
Oh no, like Muslims are over here doing this. The Muslims, you ain't here and see none of that. You just propagating bullshit to get people against each other. Then when the Central Park 5 black young men were exonerated, he still doubled down. Oh, them niggas still need to go and be executed. I'm like, really? Okay, that's what he on. We know who he is. Then the other thing, he made fun of the handicapped guy that was a reporter.
Yeah,
you know, he's a retarded guy. I'm like, really, man? That makes you feel big. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he do a lot of crazy shit, man.
But I mean, again, because nobody's calling him on it. Nobody's calling him on his stupidity, his lunacy. You got money, but that don't mean you can just treat people like crap all the time and not expect you're gonna get it back.
Right.
You know, but the man, he's been spoiled with that garbage, superiority, whatever else they call it, privilege. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Stupidness. And I'm telling you, what amazed me was the people in New York when they said, "Man, this guy's trash. Get him out of here." I'm like, "Ain't he homegrown? Ain't he a New Yorker?" They start turning on. But the guy's a charlatan. He goes around and he sells people on what he thinks they want to hear. And when he sells the money, I got it. And they fall for that garbage.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
but that's not true about the 80s. Because I'm gonna tell you, I lived through the 80s. I used to see a lot of people say, "Oh, that's the guy, Donald Trump." I never know him to do anything good to help anybody in the 80s. Like, oh, he just donated $10 million for the black college or school or the give, but he ain't giving nobody nothing. The guys, it's a small segment, just like today. Who did he go to? He go to these churches. He went to these small churches, got a bunch of black ministers to buy his crap and sell it, to try to sell it. And then those same ministers now, they going against them because they didn't get what they wanted. It was one or two of them out of Detroit. They're the same ministers, now they're going against me. It's like, y'all, we already know who y'all are. Y'all sell out from the get. So we get it. Yeah. Look, the Republican Party going against them too. Look at Don Cheney and his daughter. They're going against them. You could say, well, that's only a few, but those were the hardcore Republicans.
I'm ready to take that one. Who's gonna win the presidency?
Yeah.
All that do just call me and let me know.
If they don't steal it, because they done got away from trying to win fair and square. Now they going to stealing and how they gonna scam and get. They already doing it.
The only problem is that 3 states stand in the way of its central city: Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, Democratic government.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the long and short.
Right.
Governor by Constitution have so much authority, like a president, thanks to the Supreme Court, that they can override or pretty much do what they want.
Well, we gotta go in hard. That's all. You know. And then, but I gotta go back to what you said. I'm gonna have to correct you on that because you said the Republicans have done the most for black people. Yeah. And what week was that?
No, I just mean so again, Lincoln was a Republican. Reconstruction was Republican. An act. Reconstruction probably was the biggest thing that we actually had that helped us out.
But we still didn't have a lot of liberty.
For the president that was in office 4 times so they changed the law.
Franklin.
Yeah, one that
Franklin Delano Roosevelt was the longest. He was like 12 years.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the liberties. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying all the things that black people want today that they should have had, let's say 100 years ago, they're still fighting and talking about it today. And you know, it's just I don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm talking modern times, you know. Like,
well, not in modern times, no, because the parties have changed. They changed the way that they you know, they changed the way that they act. So, you know, but
yeah, but what does really a Republican mean in 1845 or 1850? You know, what does that really mean?
I couldn't tell you.
You know, nobody could tell us what is that. I tell you this much: you probably didn't have a lot of them in the South. You probably did, but you didn't. You know, that
wasn't the country it is today.
People don't even realize who was in the South. Let's name the people that were in the South, the countries. You had Spaniards, you had French, you had the British. You come to the North, who did you have? You had Scandinavians, you had the Germans, you had some Irish down south too. You had some Irish up north. But those are the people that kind of ran this country and still do. Actually, I argue this case with some people now. Who are the people you hardly ever see get persecuted in America since the beginning of the inception of this country? Guess what group?
You said Harley?
You hardly ever hear them get persecuted. The Germans. If you look at every one of these presidents we had up to date, out of what? 45, 46, how many is it?
We had 40.
47 now? 47. I guarantee you 40 of them were German descent. If you look at their names, or you look at Taft, Eisenhower, what was the one? Roosevelt. These are German names, dude. These people never got persecuted even when they did what they did to the people in Europe, when they were doing the Holocaust. What did American people do? Because they were predominantly a lot of Germans in power. They turned their deaf ear and they didn't want to see what was happening to people in Europe. To the Jews in Europe, they died. They didn't want to eat. This country. And go back to the founding fathers of this country. They were white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Where did Protestants come from? Germany.
They were ahead of American science and all that, so it's almost like.
I'm just saying.
Native countries negotiated the advancement of science, where Germany came in World War I and II. Had a lot of science.
Of course.
You want a lot of.
But I'm going back to the revolution. The British had help from German people. I mean, trust me. I honestly believe the Japanese been persecuted, Jews been persecuted, blacks been persecuted, Irish been persecuted, Italians been persecuted, Hispanics. You don't never hear nothing about it. They put the Germans in concentration camps. The Germans were isolated. The Germans weren't able to get jobs. The Germans couldn't do this. They run in this country on the backside. I honestly believe that.
But all right, then, y'all. We at the later of the hour now. So let's go around the room and get y'all final thoughts.
Absolutely. Farrakhan, you said nothing. Where you at?
What'd you say, Steve?
In conclusion, what do you have for us?
I'm just thinking about the conversation, and my view is that I learn all my life from everywhere I can. People I meet, people I listen to, people I see, books, whatever. So tonight, good conversation. It was stimulating, and I'm processing it.
Gotcha. How about you, Tiny? What you got in conclusion?
Well, a lot of time I drive around and I go shopping, and I'm just happy to be free. And if you ever lose your freedom, somebody tell you what time to go to bed, feed you what they want you to eat, and you have no choice about what's going on in your life, then you really appreciate freedom. And if I got a choice, I would choose to be free. Good to be around like-minded people.
I like that term.
Yeah.
Ms. Houston, what do you have in conclusion?
Very stimulating conversation. I just learned when I was in school that you have to be careful when you start reading statistics and giving out numbers, because you have a lot of things that actively play a role in being able to form this kind of opinion. Statistics are always in favor of who is conducting the survey. It's never unbiased. And so, that's all I need to say. We just got to be careful when we start throwing out numbers, because it's a lot involved with that. And it's just not something, that we want to take, stock in and say it's good or it's right or it's wrong. So that's it.
Appreciate it. iPhone, what you got? iPhone, April. No, I guess not April. How about you, Keon? Anything in conclusion?
I don't have anything to say in conclusion. Just great show. You guys did an awesome job as usual.
Yeah, we got to start making sure we state our facts. Because we don't want to propagate the wrong thing, But anyway, appreciate that. Anybody, DeAndre, Arnold, you got anything in conclusion?
Well, I woke up and I'm fact checking. So I found my role for now is fact check. So if anybody say something, I'm going to fact check.
There you go. Check your fact.
I got your back, Miss Houston. I'm going to fact check.
Okay, Arnold.
I had that conversation months ago with a gentleman that calls in this enlightening program. And I told him, give us your sources so we can fact check. So I'm still waiting to this day, but that's okay. And I'll still wait on that list of him being a historian. Playing that nice beat. I woke up, then I woke up, I went right to that post.
No, I ain't got nothing to say. I just, no, you guys are absolutely right about the thought. I'm a statistician myself. I know how to take data and create stats out of them. And I obviously know that what that means is the data is only as good as the person that wants to show you what they want to show you. So you're absolutely right about that. You get no argument from me there. I will also input this. The unfortunate is that since we were brought here and were used as forced labor to create the economic engine that is America, Black people has been on the negative end of every statistic that could prove to be worthwhile to determine the success rate of a culture or a race. And so, unfortunately, the system that we were brought into was designed for us to fail. So some of the statistics as it relates to us aren't always untrue. And we have to accept that, and then we have to learn to live with it in a way that creates the success that we ultimately will want to see. One of the things that's statistically valid is that by the year 2050, Black people collectively will have a net worth of 0. And you can tell that is happening because we're fastly losing our home. We are becoming
disenfranchised.
I mean, we've been disenfranchised, but I wanted to say, as it related to our education, we are the lowest educated, although I can't statistically prove that, but what I can prove is that other groups are vastly outpacing us in terms of education, specifically our Latinx brothers and sisters and Asians. And as we continue to import more people from other countries here, they are also going to add to those stats and push us further down. So where once education was an escape, it will mean less in the future, especially as technology is taking over. The other thing about that is as technology is taking over, we are not involved in the sciences. We are the last ones that are as educated as needed to be to take advantage of that, of what is now and what is going to be. And so, and whether it's birth rate due to abortion or otherwise, we are having the least amount of children, period. So our families are dying out. The reality is, as it relates to the culture and the race, we are far worse than we've ever been in this country.
We're having less children than white families?
We are having less children. We are. That is valid.
So why is it, how is it that white people in
but we talking America though. America is 70% white.
I'm saying, but the question is, how is it in the year 2042 or 2050?
2050.
No. I'm talking 2042. That the white people in America will be the minority. So how did that come to be? How would that come to be?
Well, okay. So number one, white people got all the money, regardless. You know, like we gave them the money when we came and worked for free. So all money can never be replaced.
I'm talking about money. I'm saying as far as population.
Serve the population.
Right.
How? So we just seen an influx of 18 million immigrants. So you're talking about right now we have in America. I think we were once the second largest minority group. We are now the third largest minority group. So I think there's about 17 million Latinx.
Who's the first?
Latinx people are now. The Hispanic population.
So who's the second largest?
We are. We are under them now.
As I said, we're the third.
We are the third largest minority still in America. Yes, we're still the third largest minority. It's Latinx. And they just imported 15 million more Latinx people.
You said there was first, and second, and third.
So Latinx people are first. They're the majority minority. We are now the minority minority. We are second most in terms of minority now.
I thought you said
third. No, well, I mean in terms of how many individuals. I mean, yes, in terms of groups, it's white people, Latinx people, black people.
Okay, but
not by population,
not based on minority.
No, by minority is Latinx people. Okay. And we just imported 15 million more.
And that term minority doesn't really mean what it really means. It doesn't mean minor. It was just a term used to say you're not in the populace of people.
Well, yeah, no. Well, there's a majority and a minority. The majority is white people. The minority was the people under them. So minority was used in the right term.
So white people had more numbers than black.
They still have more people. There's 69% of the population is white in America.
And then the rest is Hispanic and black.
Hispanic, black, Asian, and other. Yeah. Right. So yes, by 20, if the trend continues, if we're going to be importing Latinx people, which we just did 15 million, to a country that already has 17 million, yeah, white people will, by 2042, if these numbers stay consistent, 20 years, yeah, they will be the second, they will be the majority minority. They will be number 2 in terms of population. And the Latinx community will be number 1 if the numbers hold the way that they are now. Absolutely. So, but I'm just saying, statistically, we need to get our shit together. I don't care how you want to look at it. The numbers show what they are. And nobody's skewing these numbers to suggest that black people are doing bad. We're fucking doing bad. Period. We gotta do it, and we have to do better. We gotta do better. We gotta start today. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
let's go back to what somebody said. They said, how do you correct the wrongs of 400 years of incorrect in less than 100 years?
I mean, you do what everybody else is doing. You got to give us reparations. Now, I know the argument. We won't give them back. Probably. So what? But you know what? Some of us that know what we're doing are not going to give it back. We're going to be able to use that to create the same generational wealth that the folks that got rich off of us did as well. They got old money. That's the difference. They have old money, and we're just trying to get big money. We're just trying to figure out how we can keep our generations existing beyond the next 20 years, because some of us only have one child. You know what I mean? So with that, we want to find some money so that our grandchildren's can be good, just like DuPont and Chase and Vanderbilt, and Rockefeller and the Bird. Like I'm just saying. So yeah, so if you give us reparations, yes, we will. Some of us will give them back, but others will also make sure that that money goes so that their generations can have something and build off of. So yeah, start there, and then you go wherever else you want to go with it. But everybody else has got a reparations for domestic terrorism of Black people. We need reparations. Start there. That's how you repair harm. They don't want to have that conversation though. They got enough. Yeah, there is. COVID showed us there was enough. Man, they show us there's enough. Shit, this new family, they got a house showed us it's enough. Yeah, but yeah, all right, y'all know how we do between the hours of 6 and 8 on Sunday. We bring you Northwest off the council. West Side folks talk to West Side things, and of course, other things that extend beyond the West Side. There are various ways you can interact with the show. We got the Facebook, the YouTube, or the Zoom. You choose the medium that's best for you. If you're on the Facebook or the YouTube, you type in the chat, you can see it, you bring it right in the screen with your comments and have that conversation. Otherwise, you want to come right on down to the new setup, come to 5730 West Division. And if you're on that YouTube, on the Zoom, then you just come off mute, speak your speech, keep it discreet, keep it respectful, or we're going to have to mute you or mute you. Otherwise, with the new setup, we got open seats at the table. We just trying to open seats in the room around the room. We just trying to welcome y'all on in. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you Northwest off the council. Guys, good night.
Night, y'all.
Good night.
God bless everybody.
I really like you.
What the hell?
Good night.
Man, what y'all